It's always quiet right before it happens. The city fades into a low blue. The clock says 2, but it feels much later. And somehow you're still the place my mind runs from.
Deep breath, I was doing fine till the silence opened. Like an old door nobody locked away. Now your shadow's walking through my apartment, and the night starts calling your name.
Oh, street lights melting on a hardwood floor, rain painting rivers on the glass. My coffee's cold, my phone's face down still. Somehow you're the first thing that comes back. The sweater hanging by the bedroom door still smell like a season we survived. Funny how 1,000 brand new mornings can't erase one unforgettable night.
I know exactly how the story ends, but memories don't care what I know. They arrive like songs I wasn't ready for, and suddenly I can't let go.
Every corner of this room remembers every photograph inside my head. I close my eyes to get some sleep, but all I find is you instead. The night starts with your name.
The night starts with your name.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Like records spinning circles in the back of my mind. And no matter where I run, no matter what I change, when the world goes quiet, the night starts with your name. Your name. When the stars hang low above the city rain, the night starts with your name. There's a version of me still sitting with you, laughing underneath the rooftop sky. Before the distance learned our addresses, before goodbye learned how to hide. I remember details I don't want anymore. The color of your jacket in the cold, the way your hand found mine without searching, like we both believed we'd grow old. Now the moon keeps hanging in the same place, but nothing else feels quite the same. It's amazing what survives a heartbreak, 1,000 moments in a name. Every road I thought would lead away finds a way to bring me back again. Tonight the past is breathing softly through the spaces you once lived in. The night starts with your name. Every single time. Every single time. The paper spinning circles in the back of my mind. And no matter where I run, no matter what I change, when the world goes quiet, the night starts with your name. Your name. When the stars hang low above the city, the night starts with your name. Maybe healing isn't losing memories, maybe it isn't forgetting what was real. Maybe it's learning how to hold them without letting them hold me. Maybe one day I'll hear your name and it won't rearrange the room. But tonight
isn't that night?
the night starts with your name, but it doesn't end the same. Every time I survive it, I become a little less afraid. And maybe one day the silence won't won't carry your flame. But tonight beneath these midnight skies, tonight beneath these city lights, tonight beneath these little lights, ooh, some night stars, night stars, night stars with your name. Night stars with your name. The rain keeps falling, the city keeps sleeping, and somewhere between yesterday and morning, I'm still learning how to let a memory be a memory. Oh, oh, I should have deleted them months ago, but here I am again. 2:34 in the morning, scrolling through ghosts. Hey. Blue light dancing across my face as the city disappears outside. Thumb moving through a timeline frozen somewhere between goodbye and rewind. There you are in a message from July, laughing about things I can't recall. Funny how the smallest conversations end up hurting the most of all. A random picture of your coffee cup, a blurry sunset from your drive home. Back then it felt like ordinary life, now it feels like finding gold. Soft bass centers, every good morning hits different now. Every heart emoji cuts a little deeper. You were writing memories, I thought you were just texting. The screen keeps glowing in the darkness, like it knows exactly where I'm weak. I came looking for one conversation, now I'm drowning in every week. Old text, new heartbreak, same ache running through my veins. Every sentence sounds different now, every memory changes shape. I should let these words grow silent, I should put this phone away. But old texts make brand new heartbreak every time I read your name. Oh, every time I read your name, there's a voice note from November I still haven't learned to delete. You're laughing halfway through a sentence, and somehow that ruins me. Not because I still believe you'll walk back through my door someday, but because that version of us feels so impossibly far away. Electric guitar echoes softly, I keep finding pieces of a life hidden inside simple conversations, tiny moments that never knew. They become museum exhibitions, and every scroll becomes another reminder that time keeps moving without permission. The room grows smaller with each message, the years collapse into one screen. You become 100 different people, and I become who I used to be. Old text, new heartbreak, same ache running through my veins. Every sentence sounds different now, every memory changes shape. I should let these words grow silent, I should put this phone away. But old texts make brand new heartbreak every time I read your name. Every time I read your name. Maybe that's the cruel thing about memories, they don't stay where you leave them. They wait inside photographs photographs, sad side songs inside old conversations. Until one lonely night you accidentally opened the door again. Strings swell and suddenly the past feels present tense. Old text, new heartbreak, but I'm finally seeing something change. The pain still comes, the memories still here, but they don't stay the same. Maybe healing isn't forgetting, maybe it's learning how to stay. When old texts bring new heartbreak and not letting it carry you away. Before it closes me again, the screen goes dark, the room stays quiet, your name disappears for now.
Two 17 a.m. and somehow the kitchen floor feels safer than my own bed tonight. Deep breath, deeper than The overhead light is way too bright, but turning it off feels worse somehow. So I'm sitting here in borrowed silence, with tired eyes and heavy thoughts. Half a glass of water by my side, a city sleeping beyond the blinds. Everybody else seems miles ahead, while I'm stuck inside my mind. The clock keeps moving without permission, the second hand won't slow down for me. I swear the nighttime knows my secrets, that's why it never lets me leave. Soft bass enters, there's a crack running through the ceiling. I've counted it 100 times before. Funny how anxiety can turn a kitchen floor into a world. But the room is still, but my thoughts aren't. My heart is tired, but it won't stop. And every answer I was looking for feels farther than before. It's a scene on the kitchen floor, trying not to miss you anymore, trying not to replay every scene, trying not to be who I've been. But the night keeps opening old doors, and my mind keeps wanting something more. So here I am, caught between healing and war. At 2:17 on the kitchen floor. I remember conversations perfectly, the ones I wish I'd never memorized. Your voice still lives inside certain corners, like it's signed a permanent lease inside my life. The coffee maker in the corner waits like mornings still belong to us. But everything in this apartment knows you're somebody I used to love. Sometimes I think I'm getting better, then a random memory appears, and suddenly a random Tuesday night feels exactly like last year. The hardest part isn't losing people, the hardest part is what remains. All the little things they leave behind, attached to ordinary days. The room is still, but my thoughts aren't. The world is sleeping, but I can't. And every road that leads me forward passes through the past. To a scene on the kitchen floor, trying not to miss you anymore, trying not to replay every scene, trying not to be who I've been. But the night keeps opening old doors, and my mind keeps wanting something more. So here I am, caught between healing and war. 2:17 on the kitchen floor. Maybe I don't miss you, maybe I miss certainty, maybe I miss believing that some things were meant to stay. Maybe tonight was never about you, maybe tonight was about me, learning how to sit emptiness without trying to fill it. Strings slowly rise, maybe that's what healing sounds like. Not peace, just honesty. Oh, it's 2:17, but I don't feel as lost anymore. The memory still visit when it rains, though the ache still whispers your name. But tonight I'm finally understanding, some things leave without a warning, and some hearts heal a little at a time. Between midnight and morning, it's 2:17 on the kitchen floor, and maybe that's what tonight was for. Oh, on the kitchen floor. On the kitchen floor. On the kitchen floor. On the kitchen floor. The kitchen floor. The refrigerator hums. The city keeps sleeping. The sky outside is slowly changing color. And for the first time tonight, I think I can stand up. Wasn't looking for you tonight, then a song started playing, and suddenly you were everywhere again, and even honest you to leave. The grocery store speakers called me off guard, a melody I hadn't heard in years. Now I'm standing in the frozen night, trying not to drown in souvenirs. Funny how a few familiar chords can pull a lifetime from the dark, like every note was keeping pieces of you hidden somewhere in his heart. That summer drive along the coastline, windows down and singing out of key. Back when forever felt believable, back when forever still meant we. Soft bass centers, now every playlist feels like evidence. Every chorus leaves another clue. I swear these songs are all conspiring to bring me back to you. I changed the station, skipped the track, but somehow memories fight back. Every melody becomes a photograph. I wasn't ready to unpack. Every song knows you, every note remembers, every late night melody turns strangers into embers. And no matter what I do, no matter what I choose, every song knows you, and every song leads back to you. A random cafe on a rainy street,
a singer humming through old speakers, and there you are, inside a simple line, making old feelings feel deeper. It's not the heartbreak that surprises me, it's how alive those moments stay. Like they're waiting underneath the music for the perfect time to play. Some songs remember who we were, some songs remember who we lost, some songs carry entire lifetimes inside 3 minutes of sound. Strings slowly rise, and every time I think I moved ahead, another chorus proves me wrong. Because the truth is, part of you still lives inside these songs. As the years go by, the playlists change, but certain melodies remain. And every time they find me, I feel everything again. Every song knows me, every note remembers, every late night melody turns strangers into embers. And no matter what I do, no matter what I choose, every song knows you, and every song leads back to you. Maybe that's why music hurts sometimes, not because of the sound, but because it remembers the versions of ourselves we've left behind. Maybe songs aren't really about the past, maybe they're about the people we become because of it. Strings swell, and maybe that's why I keep listening. Every song knows you, but tonight I understand the memories aren't holding me back. They're helping me understand who I was, who I loved, and who I'm becoming to. Every song knows you, but every song knows me now too. Every song knows you. Every song knows you. Every note remembers, but tonight the music feels a little less like surrender. Another song fades into silence, the city keeps glowing outside. And somewhere between the last note and the next one, I finally breathe.
Sometimes I wonder if I miss you or if I miss who we were before everything changed. I never surrendered. I found an old picture tonight, buried deep inside my phone. Two young hearts looking invincible, standing somewhere we've outgrown. Your smile looked lighter back then, mine looked like it hadn't learned fear. We were making plans for futures that never made it here. The strange thing isn't that we ended, people leave, that's what they do. The strange thing is I still visit the world that belonged to me and you. Soft bass sinners, 1,000 memories later, 1,000 sleepless nights above, and I finally know the truth. It's not just you that I miss the certainty, the innocence, the way tomorrow felt so close. And if I'm honest, that's the version of us that I miss the most. The version of us I miss most still lives somewhere in the past. It's the version of us I miss most. Back when every late night drive felt like the start of something new. When we talked until the sunrise, when nothing else we'd rather do. Before distance learned our habits, before silence filled the room, before we became two strangers walking through familiar wounds. Maybe memories are generous, maybe they soften every edge, maybe they leave out all the reasons we ended up where we did. Because if I replay everything honestly, not the highlights but the whole film through, I remember we were beautiful but broken too. I miss the hope, the younger hearts, the way we thought we'd never lose. And maybe that's why I'm still holding on to pieces of that view. Version of us I miss most still dances under the stars, frozen somewhere between forever and who we really are. And every now and then, when old emotions come and go, I realize it's not you I miss. It's the version of us I miss most. Missing a person and missing a feeling. Baby, healing begins the moment you stop chasing the past and start understanding it. Strings rise dramatically because some people leave, but the lessons stay. And some love stories end long before the love disappears. The version of us I miss most will always have a place in me. Not because I want it back, but because it helped me see who I was, who I became, and who I'm learning to be now. The version of us I miss most doesn't make me sad somehow, because tonight, for the first time, I can remember without breaking down. The version of us I miss most can finally rest now, baby, yeah. The version of us, baby, yeah. The picture stays on the screen, the rain keeps falling outside, and somewhere between memory and morning, I finally let the past be the past be. The version of us I miss most.
The rain showed up before I could sleep, like it knew exactly where to find me tonight. Droplets racing down the glass, like they know somewhere to go. Meanwhile I'm still standing here, lost inside a world nobody knows. The city lights blur into colors, smearing gold and blue across the night. Everything feels softer when it rains, even old heartbreaks lose their fight. I pull the curtains halfway open, let the storm become a company. Funny how the sky can understand things people never seem to see. Soft bass and as The clouds don't ask me why I'm hurting. The thunder doesn't need details. They simply sit with me in silence while another memory sails. And every drop outside my window feels like a conversation between the night and everything I'm trying not to feel. Rain against my window, your name inside my head. Two things I can't stop hearing, no matter what I say. The storm keeps telling stories, the glass becomes a screen, and every drop reminds me of everything we used to be. Rain against my window, and memories I can't outrun. Another midnight past, another battle never won. I remember how you loved storms. You'd stand and watch them for a while, like there was something hidden in the weather, only visible through your smile. Now every rainy night feels borrowed, like it belongs to another life. A chapter sitting on my bookshelf that still refuses to close right. I don't miss every single moment. Time has taught me better than that. But there are pieces of your laughter that still echo when it rains like this. And I hate how a simple forecast can pull years from the dark, like the weather memorized every corner of my heart. The room is quiet, the sky is loud, the past keeps drifting through the clouds, and somehow all these years later, you're still around. Rain against my window, your name inside my head. Two things I can't stop hearing, no matter what I say. The storm keeps telling stories, the glass becomes a screen, and every drop reminds me of everything we used to be. Rain against my window, and memories I can't outrun. Another midnight past, another battle never won. No, maybe that's why people love the rain, because it gives sadness a soundtrack, because it makes loneliness feel beautiful for a little while. Maybe storms exist to remind us that even the sky needs to let things go. Strings rise, and maybe healing looks like rain too, arriving heavy, leaving quietly. Rain against my window, but something feels different now. The memories still visit, but they don't stay around. The storm keeps moving forward, the clouds don't remain, and maybe that's the lesson, hidden inside the rain. Rain against my window, one last song before the dawn. Your shadow's getting lighter, the night is moving on. Your city glows beneath the storm, the sky slowly clears, and for the first time tonight I stop looking for you in the rain.
I know why we ended. I know we So why does my heart keep defending you in conversations we're not even having? Why mine presents the evidence like a lawyer building a case? Late replies, cold silences, the growing distance in your face, the promises we couldn't keep, the cracks we tried so hard to hide. Every reason we fell apart is written clearly in black and white, and logically I understand it. Verdict should have settled years ago, but memories walk into the courtroom, and suddenly nobody wants to go. Soft bass and just because they don't show the whole story, they only show the best scenes. A highlight reel of stolen moments and impossible dreams. And my head says let go, my heart objects, the past takes the stand, and I lose again. I keep losing arguments to memory every single time. Facts don't stand a chance against the way you looked that night. I know better now, I know what the truth should be, but I keep losing argument to memories. Oh, yeah. The prosecution says we changed it, that people grow and move apart. The defense points to summer evenings and every photograph in my heart. One side says it couldn't last, the other says it almost did. One side speaks in painful lessons, the other speaks in what ifs. Electric guitar enters softly, and somewhere in between those voices I sit and listen to them fight, knowing neither side is perfect, knowing both of them are right. Because you weren't the villain and neither was I in the end. We were just two imperfect people trying our best to pretend. The room grows quiet, the case goes cold, but then another memory appears and takes control. I keep losing arguments to memories every single time. Facts don't stand a chance against the way you looked that night. I know better now, I know what the truth should be, but I keep losing arguments to memories. Maybe healing isn't choosing sides, maybe it's accepting the whole story, the beautiful parts, the painful parts, the reasons it ended and the reasons it mattered. Because memories aren't lies, they're just incomplete truths. Strings rise dramatically and maybe that's why they keep winning. I keep losing arguments to memories, but tonight I finally see they are trying to pull me back, when they're trying to remind me that something can be beautiful and still not meant to stay. Something can be real and still fade away. I keep losing arguments to memories, but maybe that's okay, because every lesson they carry helps shape who I became. The courtroom empties, the evidence fades, the night grows quieter, and for the first time nobody wins, nobody loses. The case is finally closed. It's strange how someone can leave and somehow never really leave at all.
coffee mug sits on the top shelf, exactly where you left it last. I keep telling myself to move it, but somehow months keep passing by. The hallway still remembers your footsteps, the mirror still knows your face. Even the silence feels different, like it learned your shape. I walk through rooms we used to fill, and every corner feels familiar still. Not because you're here, but because you were. And somehow that matters. Soft bass enters, the couch still holds old conversations, the kitchen still holds old laughs. The apartment learned your language and never forgot it. Oh, every object has a memory, every shadow knows your name. And sometimes it feels like nothing changed except everything. The apartment still feels full, even though you're gone. Your echoes live inside the walls long after moving on. I sleep alone these days, but some nights I still swear the apartment still feels full. Like you're somewhere here. The bedroom window catches sunsets the same way it always did, but now there's nobody beside me, pointing out the colors in the sky. I tried rearranging furniture, thought maybe that would help somehow. But memories don't live in objects, they live inside us now. Electric guitar enters softly, and that's the part nobody tells you. When someone leaves your life behind, you don't just lose the person, you lose the version of yourself they knew. So every room becomes a reminder, every familiar space becomes a map, leading back to moments you can't physically return to. The lights are off, the city's asleep, but the past still wanders quietly through these rooms and through me. Oh, the apartment still feels full, even though you're gone. Your echoes live inside the walls long after moving on. I sleep alone these days, but some nights I still swear the apartment still feels full. Maybe that's what love leaves behind. Not ownership, not promises, not permanence, just traces. Invisible fingerprints on ordinary things. Strings slowly rise, and maybe healing isn't erasing them. Maybe it's learning to live alongside them without feeling haunted. The apartment still feels full, but not the way it used to. The sadness isn't as heavy now, the memories aren't as cruel. Your laughter still visits sometimes, the echoes still appear, but they feel more like old photographs than someone still standing here. The apartment still feels full, yet somehow so do I. Maybe that's how you know you're healing, when absence no longer feels like goodbye. Flicker through the blinds, the coffee mug stays on the shelf, and for the first time it doesn't hurt to look at it. I forgot the password to your Wi-Fi. Forgot the name of that restaurant on downtown. Forgot what you ordered every Sunday. Forgot 100 little things somehow. But your laugh survived the wreckage. Clear as the day, I heard it first. Like it found a place inside my memory and signed a lifetime lease. The kind that started in your chest, then spilled into the whole room. The kind that made strangers smile without even knowing why. Soft bass enters. Now sometimes I'll hear someone laughing from across a crowded street, and for half a second my heart forgets you're not walking next to me. It's funny what stays and what disappears. Some memories fade, some become souvenirs. Your life lives here, rent-free, inside these empty rooms, inside our midnight conversations, inside familiar tunes. And no matter how much time passes, no matter where life leads me, your life lives here rent-free, inside a part of me. Your love. I remember movie nights on the couch, you laughing before the punchline came. Hey, I remember trying not to stare, just because I love seeing your face. The sound would bounce off every wall, turning ordinary nights into gold. Back then I thought those moments were endless. Back then I thought we'd grow old. Now life has carried us elsewhere, different roads beneath different skies. But somehow that laugh keeps finding me in the most unexpected places. A grocery store, a coffee shop, a random memory at 2 AM. And suddenly you're here again. Not in a way that breaks me, not in a way that hurts, just enough to remind me of what we were worth it. Your laugh lives here rent-free, inside these empty rooms, inside our midnight conversations. And no matter how much time passes, no matter where life leads me, your laugh lives here rent-free, inside a part of me. Maybe that's the beautiful thing about loving someone. Even after they leave, certain pieces stay behind. Not to haunt us, not to keep us stuck, but to prove that it happened, that it mattered, that it was real. Strings rise, and maybe that's enough. Your laugh lives here rent-free, but tonight it makes me smile, instead of making me wish I could go back for a while. Because every beautiful memory deserves a place to be. And your laugh lives here rent-free, like a song inside of me. Your laugh lives here rent-free, not as a wound, but as proof that for a little while life gave me something beautiful to lose. The room grows quiet, the city keeps glowing, and somewhere in the distance someone laughs. I smile, and let the moment pass. If time could apologize, I wonder what it would say for all the people it took too soon, for all the moments it never gave back. I found an old version of myself tonight, hidden inside a memory from years ago, smiling at things I couldn't keep, holding people I didn't know I'd lose. Back then life felt so patient, like tomorrow would always wait, like there'd always be another summer, another chance to say what mattered. The time had other plans, it kept moving while we were busy living, taking photographs and making promises we thought we'd have forever to fulfill. Soft bass interest, now the years sit quietly behind me like books lined up across a shelf, each one holding someone I miss, each one holding pieces of myself. Sometimes I wonder if time ever looks back at all the things it carried away. If time could apologize, would it bring you back again? Would it give us one more evening before the story had to end? Would it slow the hands of midnight? Would it let us stay a while? If time could apologize, would it finally reconcile? There are conversations I still rehearse, words that arrived years too late, people I thought I'd call tomorrow, now living only in yesterday. The hardest part about growing up isn't watching seasons disappear, it's realizing certain moments were far more important than they appeared. That random drive, that ordinary hug, that final goodbye you didn't know was final. Life never labels the chapters until after they're gone. Electric guitar enters softly, and maybe that's why memories hurt, because they reveal the value later, long after the moment is past. The night grows quiet, the clock moves on, and every second feels borrowed now. If time could apologize, would it bring you back again? Would it give us one more evening before the story had to end? Would it slow the hands of midnight? Would it let us stay a while? If time could apologize, would it finally reconcile? Maybe time isn't cruel, maybe it's just honest, maybe its purpose was never to stay. Maybe its purpose was to teach us that everything is precious, because everything is temporary. Strings rise dramatically, and maybe the apology was never supposed to come, because the lesson was always the gift. If time could apologize, I think I'd tell it not to. 'Cause every loss taught me love, and every ending taught me truth. The people who became memories still live inside my soul, and every moment that disappeared make me whole. If time could apologize, I'll simply thank it instead. For every beautiful chapter, for every word unsaid, for every person I still carry, through every road I travel on. If time could apologize, I'd tell it to keep moving on. The clock keeps ticking, the city keeps sleeping, and somewhere beyond this midnight, morning is already coming.
Hey.
Voice, no pauses. That's all it takes. One word.
And suddenly it's last year again, buried beneath thousands of photos and messages I should have erased. I found your final voice note tonight, still frozen in the same place. My thumb hovered over the screen, like it knew what would happen next. Like opening, it wasn't listening. It was time travel. The room disappeared around me, the years folded into one breath, and there you were, speaking casually, not knowing what was ahead. Soft bass centers, you sounded happy, you sounded ordinary, you sounded like someone who thought we'd have more time. Oh, it's strange how a voice survives when everything else changes. A heartbeat hidden inside a speaker waiting patiently. The last voice knows still sounds alive, still turns midnight into yesterday, still makes old feelings arrive. And I know it's just a recording, a moment trapped in time, but the last voice note still feels like you're on the line. You laughed halfway through a sentence, forgot what you were trying to say, started talking about random things like it was any normal day. No dramatic goodbye, no final revelation, just everyday conversation, which somehow hurts even more because nobody knows when something becomes the last time. Nobody gets warned, nobody gets prepared. Electric guitar enter softly, and now I replay small details like they hold some hidden clues, searching for things that were never there, trying to hear what I missed in you. The room grows quiet, the message ends, and suddenly I wanna hear it again. The last voice note still sounds alive, still turns midnight into yesterday, still makes old feelings arrive. And I know it's just a recording, a moment trapped in time, but the last voice note still feels like you're on the line. Maybe that's what makes memories powerful, not the big moments, the small ones, the ordinary Tuesdays, the random conversations, the unfinished thoughts, the laughter between sentences. Strings rise slowly, because that's where real life lives, not
were here. I don't think I miss you the way I used to, but I don't think I'm over you either. I'm somewhere in the middle, and maybe that's the hardest place to be. Your name doesn't ruin my whole day now. It only visits for a little while. A passing thought inside the traffic, a familiar face inside a crowd. I don't check your page anymore. I don't stare at my phone hoping you'll call. But sometimes when the night gets quiet, I still wonder how you are. Healing never looked the way I imagined. I thought it would arrive all at once, like waking up one morning completely untouched by the past. Soft bass sinners, instead it came in tiny pieces. A little less pain every month, a little more distance between who we were and who I've become. I'm not where I started, I'm not where I'm going. I'm somewhere in between, and that's okay, yeah. Somewhere between missing you and moving on, between holding on and letting go, between the memories that still hurt and the ones that make me smile. I'm somewhere between missing you and moving on. The songs don't hit as hard these days. The photographs don't steal my breath. The apartment feels more like mine now than a museum of what we left still. Every now and then a random moment catches me off guard. A scent in the air, a familiar phrase, a dream that lasts too long. Electric guitar and softly, and for a second everything comes rushing back. Not enough to break me, just enough to remind me that love doesn't disappear overnight. It slowly changes shape, heartbeat changes shape. The road behind me, the road ahead, both feel distant now as I walk between them. Between missing you and moving on, between holding on and letting go, between the person I was with you and the one I'm becoming now. I'm somewhere between missing you and moving on. Yeah. Maybe this isn't confusion, maybe it's growth, maybe healing was never meant to be a straight line. Maybe hearts need time to learn new rhythms after dancing to the same song for so long. Strings rise dramatically, and maybe this middle ground isn't a place to escape. Maybe it's a place to rest before moving forward. I finally understand both can exist at once. I can cherish what we had without wishing it returned. I can carry the lessons without carrying the hurt. Somewhere between missing you and moving on. I found a version of myself I thought was gone, and maybe that's the destination I was searching for all along.
outside begins to fade. The city slowly prepares for dawn. And somewhere between yesterday and tomorrow, I finally find peace. Some conversations never happen. Some words arrive too late, and some feelings spend years waiting for a moment that never comes. I still remember that evening, the one where silence filled the gaps. We sat across from each other smiling, while 1,000 truths stayed trapped. There were questions hanging in the air like stars neither of us could reach. Both pretending everything was fine, both afraid to speak. You looked away when it mattered. I laughed when I should have been honest. We built entire walls from small moments neither one of us acknowledged. Soft bass enters, and now those unfinished sentences still echo through my mind at night like ghosts searching for endings they never got to find. Maybe we were too young, maybe we were too scared. Maybe love sometimes ends inside the words we never shared. The things we never said still keep me awake. The truths we left unspoken, the chances we didn't take. And every now and then when the midnight sky turns gray, I wonder if we'd still be strangers if we found the words that day. If we found the words that day. I never told you how much you mattered, not in the way I really meant. I gave you pieces of the story, but never all of it. You never told me what you were feeling, at least not until it was too late. We kept translating our hearts through silence and called it fate. Looking back, it's almost funny how two people can care so much and still spend years avoiding the very things that needed touch. We were experts at pretending, beginners at being vulnerable, and somewhere inside that distance we lost something beautiful. The room grows quiet, the years move on, but unfinished conversations live longer than they should. The things we never said still keep me awake. The truths we left unspoken, the chances we didn't take. And every now and then when the midnight sky turns gray, I wonder if we'd still be strangers if we found the words that day. If we'd found the words that day. Maybe closure isn't hearing the answers. Maybe closure is accepting that some questions remain. Maybe life isn't about perfect endings. Maybe it's about learning From imperfect chapters, strings rise dramatically, and maybe the words we never said still changed us anyway. The things we never said don't hurt the way they used to. They feel more like old letters now, written by people we outgrew. And every now and then when memories drift my way, I smile for all the love we felt, even if we couldn't say the things we never said. Still live somewhere inside, but tonight they finally sound less like regret and more like goodbye. The storm moves farther away, and somewhere inside the silence, the conversation finally ends. I thought I removed you from my life, but I forgot about the music. And music remembers everything. It started with a random shuffle, one song out of thousands in the queue. A melody I hadn't heard in forever. Then suddenly the room filled up with you. The city disappeared behind me. The years collapsed into a sound, and every note became a doorway to places I thought I'd left behind. That old highway after midnight, your feet up on the dashboard light, singing lyrics neither of us knew, like we had all the time in the world. Soft bass enters, now every playlist feels haunted. Every chorus hides your face, like the songs made copies of you before you walked away. I press skip, but memory doesn't. I turn it down, but it still gets loud. There are ghosts in my playlist, living inside the songs, turning quiet nights into flashbacks, long after you've been gone. Every melody remembers, every beat knows your name. There are ghosts in my playlist, and they still sound the same. Track 7 takes me to your apartment. Track 12 brings back that summer rain. Track 15 still feels like heartbreak, wrapped inside a bass line and refrain. It's funny how music stores emotions better than photographs ever could. A 3-minute song can hold a lifetime and bring it back when nothing else would. Sometimes the memories feel beautiful, sometimes they catch me by surprise. Sometimes I let the whole song play just to see what survives. And what survives is always strange. Not the endings, not the fight, just the little moments that once felt ordinary. The playlist keeps spinning, the night keeps moving, and somewhere between the tracks I find myself. Oh, there are ghosts in my playlist, living inside the song, turning quiet nights into flashbacks, long after you've been gone. Every melody remember, every beat knows your name. Maybe ghosts aren't always sad. Maybe some are just reminders that we were here, that we loved, that we lived. Maybe every song is a time capsule, carrying pieces of people across years and oceans, waiting to be opened again. Strings rise dramatically, and maybe that's why I keep listening. Though there are ghosts in my playlist, but they don't scare me anymore. They feel like old photographs, scattered across the floor. Every melody remembers, but tonight so do I. The good days, the hard days, the reasons we said goodbye. There are ghosts in my playlist, and maybe they'll always remain. But tonight they sound less like heartbreak and more like beautiful pain. The playlist reaches its final song. The rain outside begins to stop, and somewhere between the last note and the silence, I smile. It's strange. The longer you're gone, the more perfect you become. So I saw an old picture tonight. One I hadn't opened in years, and for the first time you didn't look the way I remember. The smile was smaller somehow, the sparkle wasn't quite as bright. The version I've been carrying around had changed over time. Memory painted softer colors, blur the edges I once knew, turn ordinary moments into legends, turn reality into something new. Soft bass enters, I guess nostalgia is an artist, and I've been staring at his work, mistaking the painting for the person, mistaking beauty for the truth. The mind protects what it can't keep by polishing every detail until the memory shines brighter than the moment ever did. And now you look different in my memories than you ever did in real life. The flaws disappeared, the hard days faded, the rough edges lost their fight. And maybe that's why letting go took longer than it should be, because you look different when they're gone. I remembered us as perfect, like we never lost our way, like every conversation landed softly, like every feeling stayed. But that's not how the story happened, that's not what the truth reveals. We were beautiful and broken, trying our best to heal. The distance showed me something that love couldn't show before. You weren't a dream, I wasn't either. We were human, nothing more. And somehow that's more comforting than the fantasy I knew, because real love doesn't need perfection to prove it was true. face and the picture stays. And every time I look at it, I see a little more clearly. And my memories, and you ever didn't realize. The flaws disappeared, the hard days faded, the rough edges had lost their fight. And maybe that's why letting go took longer than it should be. Because you look different in my memories. Maybe healing begins the moment we stop rewriting history. Maybe peace arrives when we stop editing the past and let it be exactly what it was. Not worse, not better, just real. Strings rise dramatically because reality doesn't diminish love. It honors it, honors it, honors it, honors it. You look different in my memory, but tonight I finally understand. The person I loved wasn't perfect, and neither was I then. We were two hearts doing our best inside a world we couldn't see, and that's enough. That's more than enough for me. You look different in my memories, but now the picture's clear, and somehow seeing the truth makes me feel closer than the fantasy ever did. The photograph dims on the screen. The city glows beneath the dawn. And for the first time I stop missing who I imagined, and remember who you were. Your name wasn't even on my mind until it was. You've been making feel the night was moving peacefully. Just me, the city, and the rain. Then some small thing I can't explain brought you back again. Maybe it was that old cafe. Maybe it was the way the moon looked tonight. Maybe loneliness, no shortcuts to places I try not to find. So I opened up my contacts, scrolled further than I should have gone, stopped right where your name was waiting, like it knew I'd come along. Soft bass enters, my thumb hovered over the button. 1,000 memories filled the room. For a second I could almost hear you saying hello. One call away, one moment away, one decision away from reopening yesterday, from reopening yesterday. I almost called you tonight, almost let my heart decide, almost traded all this healing for one familiar reply. And for a moment it felt like the right thing to do. I almost called you tonight, but I didn't, and that's the truth.
if you'd sound the same as before, if you'd laugh when you heard my voice, or wonder why I called it all. Will we talk about the weather? Will we talk about our lives? Would we avoid the real questions like we always did sometimes? Then reality walked in quietly and sat beside me on the floor, reminding me that missing someone isn't always a reason to reopen doors. Because some chapters earn their ending, some roads are meant to be retraced, and some people become memories for a reason we must face. The phone stayed silent, the night moved on, and somehow that felt stronger than hearing your voice. But would it openly your voice, or be openly your voice? I almost called you tonight, almost let my heart decide, almost traded all this healing for one familiar reply. And for a moment it felt like the right thing to do. I almost called you tonight, but I didn't, and that's the truth. Maybe growth is quiet, maybe strength doesn't always look dramatic. Maybe healing is simply choosing not to disturb your peace for a temporary comfort. Strings rise slowly, because not every feeling needs a reaction, and not every memory needs a return. I almost called you tonight, but I chose myself instead. I chose the future waiting for me over the past inside my head. The memories still live here, the love still left its proof. But tonight I finally learned missing you and needing you are not the same truth. I almost called you tonight, and maybe years ago I would, but tonight I let the silence answer, and somehow it understood. Your name still sits inside my phone, the rain still falls outside, but the call was never made. And for the first time that feels like healing. Late 11 a.m. The city finally surrendered to sleep, but my mind is still wide awake. The traffic disappeared hours ago. The elevator stopped making noise. Even the neighbors upstairs have stopped fighting with the night. But here I am by the window, watching reflections on the glass, counting every thought that passes, like stars I can't hold on to. The skyline looks so peaceful, a million lights slowly fading out, and I wonder what it feels like to switch your mind off that easily. Soft bass answers, because mine keeps replaying conversations, rewriting endings that already happened, searching for answers in places that stopped asking questions years ago. The city sleeps, change. Oh, the city sleeps, the moon hangs low, and somehow I'm the only one still carrying yesterday. And all these midnight memories keep putting on a show. The city sleeps, but I don't. The city sleeps, but I don't know. The city sleeps, no, no. A train moves through the distance like it's headed somewhere certain. Meanwhile I'm stuck inside old moments, pulling back emotional curtain. I thought time would've fixed it, I thought distance would've helped. But some nights healing feels less like progress and more like learning to live with yourself. Electric guitar into softly. The truth is I don't miss you every day. I don't break down like I used to, but every now and then the night arrives carrying your shadow, and suddenly the room feels smaller. The years feel shorter somehow, and everything I worked so hard to leave behind comes looking for me now. The city dreams, the morning waits, and I'm still somewhere between the past and the day ahead. All these midnight memories keep putting on a show. Maybe insomnia isn't the absence of sleep. Maybe it's the presence of everything we never fully processed. The old wounds, the unanswered questions, the versions of ourselves we're still trying to understand. Strings rise dramatically. Maybe tonight isn't about forgetting. Maybe tonight is about forgiving. The city sleeps, but I don't. Not yet, not tonight. There's still a little healing left inside these walls. Still a few memories saying goodbye. But for the first time I don't feel trapped by them. I just feel human, trying to find peace beneath the stars. So now I will too. The skyline begins to soften, the darkness slowly turns blue, and somewhere between a sleepless night and the coming sunrise, I finally close my eyes. Yeah.
The strange thing about healing is one day you realize the memory alive, but the pain didn't either of the night. I saw your picture this morning, hidden between old files on my phone. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel my chest collapse. I just smiled, not because I wanted you back, not because I wish things were different, but because I remembered a chapter that once meant everything. The sunlight hit the room differently than all those sleepless nights before, and somehow the memory felt lighter than it ever had before. Maybe healing isn't forgetting, maybe it's something far more rare. Maybe it's carrying the past without letting it weigh you down. The memory stayed, the ache moved on, and somehow both things can be true. Oh, I'm learning how to remember without hurting, learning how to look back without breaking, learning that love can stay even after goodbye. I'm learning how to remember without hurting tonight. The songs still bring you back sometimes, the places still know your name, but they don't pull me underneath anymore. They just remind me where I've been. I used to think healing meant silence, no more thoughts of you at all. But now I know peace looks different, peace still remembers, it just doesn't fall. Because every beautiful moment deserves more than becoming a wound. Every lesson deserves a future beyond the pain it passed through. And every version of myself that survived those lonely years deserves to see how far we've come from all those midnight tears. The road behind me looks different now, not because it changed, but because I did. I'm learning how to remember without hurting, learning how to look back without breaking, learning that love can stay even after goodbye. I'm learning how to remember without hurting tonight. Maybe this is what acceptance sounds like. Not forgetting, not replacing, not pretending it never happened. Just gratitude, just understanding, just peace. Strings rise slowly, because some people are meant to stay in your story, even if they don't stay in your life. I'm learning how to remember without hurting, learning how to honor everything that was worth it. The laughter, the lessons, the love we couldn't keep, the person I became because of everything we were. Yeah, yeah. I'm learning how to remember without hurting, and somehow that feels like freedom to me. The morning light fills the room. The city begins to wake, and for the first time, the memory feels like a gift instead of a goodbye. I spent so long trying to hate the ending, trying to wish it never happened. But somewhere along the way I realized some heartbreaks leave gifts behind.
If I could go back to the beginning, knowing everything I know today, knowing how the story ends, knowing all the nights I'd have to face, I'd still walk through that same doorway, still take your hand in mine, still choose every beautiful moment, even knowing I lose you in time. Because before the heartbreak arrived, before the tears and empty rooms, there were sunsets I still carry, and dreams that that helped me bloom.
Soft bass energy taught me parts of myself
I never would have found alone. And even though you couldn't stay, the lesson somehow did. The pain was real, the love was too. And finally, I can hold both truths. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for the scars that taught me how to heal, for the nights that broke me open and showed me what I feel. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for every chapter that we knew. 'Cause even though I lost us, I found pieces of myself through you. I used to think healing meant regret, like moving on required blame, like someone had to be the villain for the ending to make sense. But life is rarely that simple. Sometimes love just changes form. Sometimes two hearts drift apart without either one being wrong. And looking back through all the years, the thing I'm proudest of isn't surviving, it's learning how to appreciate what once hurt to remember. Because gratitude feels lighter than carrying resentment around, and peace sounds better than another round of what ifs. The past stays where it belongs, the lessons come along, and somehow that's enough. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for the scars that taught me how to heal, for the nights that broke me open and showed me what I feel. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for every chapter that we knew. 'Cause even though I lost us, I found pieces of myself through you.
Maybe every heartbreak leaves behind a map leading us toward ourselves. Maybe every goodbye
Create space for the person we're becoming. Strings rise dramatically, and maybe some people enter our lives not to stay forever, but to change us forever. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for every lesson hidden in the pain, for every tear that water growth, for every storm that brought the rain. Thank you for the beautiful damage, for helping me become someone new, for teaching me that endings can be beautiful too. Thank you for the beautiful damage, I finally understand. Some losses aren't punishments, they're part of the
the sun climbs higher through the window, the shadows slowly disappear, and for the first time I look back with gratitude instead of grief. Spend hours asking questions. Questions about you. Questions about me. Questions about everything we lost, but morning,
sky is slowly changing colors. The city wakes beneath the gold. The shadows that felt so heavy look smaller in the morning glow. The empty coffee cup beside me, the chair where I sat all night, now feels less like a battlefield and more like proof I survived. I spent so many hours searching for reasons, answers, something clear, trying to understand every ending, trying to make sense of every tear. Soft face enters, but the sunrise through my window doesn't need explanations why. It simply paints another beginning across the same familiar scale. And maybe that's the lesson the night was trying to teach. Some things don't need solving to find peace. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, it doesn't need to know who broke your heart, who left too soon, or where your old dreams go. It simply shines on everything, the broken and the beautiful. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, it just helps you move forward. The memories still exist inside me, the songs still know your name. The places we once loved together will probably always feel the same, but they no longer own the story, they no longer hold the pen. The future's waiting in the distance, and I'm finally ready for it. I used to think healing looked dramatic, a grand moment of letting go. Instead it came quietly, like morning light across the floor. Slowly, patiently, without announcement, without applause, just enough brightness to show me where to walk. The night is over, the road goes on, and somehow I feel ready for whatever comes. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, it doesn't need to know who broke your heart, who left too soon, or where your old dreams go. It simply shines on everything, the broken and the beautiful. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, it just helps you move forward. Maybe closure was never an answer. Maybe closure was acceptance. Maybe peace isn't understand everything. Maybe peace is trusting that not everything needs understanding. Strings rise dramatically because life keeps opening doors long after others close, and love keeps changing forms long after goodbye. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, and neither do I anymore. I spend enough nights searching for things I can't restore. The memories can stay, the lessons can remain, the love can still be honored without carrying the pain. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, it simply lights the way. And after all these sleepless nights, I finally welcome the day. Sunrise doesn't ask questions, and finally, neither do I. The city is fully awake now. The stars have disappeared. The night that began with your name ends with my own. Soft piano lingers. A new day begins. And this time, I'm ready for it.